Hello and welcome to Soul Wise with me, Semele Sherry. And in this episode I'm sharing my spiritual guidance for the new lunar month. And this begins with the Capricorn new moon at 11:57 a.m. on January the 11th. And that's UK timing because I live in the UK, in Wales. And the card that I've drawn from the Thoth Tarot to spark off my intuitive guidance is the Tower. I'm calling this reading Free Your Natural State of Being. I admit to feeling a bit apologetic about drawing this card again, as it appeared in both October and November of 2023. I could imagine you all saying, please, not that again. But most astrologers and intuitives agree that this is exactly where we are right now, in the midst of an unprecedented restructuring and transformation process on every level. So if you'll be kind enough to bear with me, I'm going to dive into the Tower once more. Let's get the obvious out of the way, and I won't dwell on it, as I've said it so many times recently. These are weeks of intense and potentially shocking events that may explode your sense of security, what you believe to be true about yourself and the world, and bring drastic change in their wake. In particular, I see further revelation of corruption and abuse of power in society's major authority structures, things like corporate finance and government. The truth is now available for all to see, and there's no way you can ever unsee it. This is likely to trigger strong responses in the wider population, which could result in rebellion and revolution. The people, and you may be one of them, will be ready to rise up and insist on rejecting injustice, control, unnecessary killing, and the destruction of a living earth and her creatures. You're probably way ahead in this respect if you're reading this or hearing this. So to encourage yourself this month, take the time to look back over the last couple of years. You'll see how this tower pattern has been playing out in your life for a while already. How what may have felt like disasters at the time have in fact allowed you to see and understand life in a whole new way. How you know yourself that much better and have been able to align yourself with what truly matters to you. How you have been able to embrace more of your authentic self and express who you are more freely and easily. Perhaps this will be the first time you're able to look at past events in quite this way. In this case, this month is the perfect time to finally express and release pent-up anger, grief and trauma, and transmute it into reclaimed life force energy. Do seek out the help of a professional therapist if you need support with this process. Once you're clear on what has already been and how far you've come, use this month to plan what you want to build in the long term. There are no walls barring your movement in any direction anymore. You're seeing reality on its many levels more clearly than you ever have before. Now you can ask to see what's next from the perspective of the highest consciousness and awareness. Amazing insights are possible right now. It's helpful to realize that planning and direction setting is not going to look like you're used to, though. This is because you're starting afresh, as we all are, not building on any existing rules or frameworks. This is a powerful rebirth rather than just a surface makeover. So where you want to head is probably not going to be well defined at this point, and that is perfectly okay. It's most important at this point to get a felt sense of how you want to live and experience life based on the values you hold dear. You also won't be doing this planning alone, but in cooperation with the other than human powers present and co-creating all around you. It's almost a process of uncivilizing yourself that I'm sensing. I don't mean to suggest you escape to live in the woods like an Iron Age person, rejecting all developments and technology beyond that epoch of time. Rather, a return to the truth of your more natural way of being over the next 4 weeks, and indeed beyond that. Planet Earth from below you and the cosmos from above you are transmitting incredible waves of energy and information. These waves are seen and felt as volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, solar flares and electromagnetic storms, all of which are possible this month. This energy is facilitating a recognition of your natural state of ever-present connection to all forms of life, physical and multidimensional, with which you share this universe. One of the many ways this could show up for you is in visions and knowledge of the far future. I find it fascinating that in myth, the most renowned sages often go through a period of exile from the mainstream civilized world. For example, the great wise Merlin has a lengthy interlude of living wild and, in inverted commas, mad in the woods. It's almost as if he needs to strip away all conditioned thinking and behavior so he can fully embrace his intuitive, instinctive, natural self and wisdom. A return to innocence in a way. Merlin, as other mythical characters do, emerge from this experience with the gifts of seership and prophecy for their people, a knowing which extends far beyond the merely rational mind and intelligence, and usually at a time when their people are in desperate need of hope for the future. As ever, ground and center yourself securely and deeply into your physical body on a daily basis. Choose something simple which works well for you. Deep breathing, free dancing, sitting in silence with your back against a tree. This stabilizes your physical body and nervous system so it can absorb the incoming frequencies and remain open to change with more ease and grace. I truly believe, as I've probably said before, the only way we can redesign our world successfully now is if it's in partnership with Source, spiritual values, and in harmony with universal and natural law. Last night, which was the 6th of January, I dreamt I was at a social gathering and I was wandering among the guests, stirring a large jug of black liquid. As I circled the room, I kept singing out, "Stir up the Hebda." Hebda is not a word I know or recognise at all, but I heard it so clearly in the dream that I remembered how to pronounce it on waking. And when I searched on the internet, spelling it phonetically, this is the first entry that popped up. Hebda. Polish, a nickname from Hebda, elderberry. The elderberry is a sacred, magical and healing plant in many Northern European cultures. Its associated properties include death and rebirth, spiritual connection, magic and mystery, profound healing, the removal of evil influences, new visions of reality, and making great progress. It seems I'm already living this reading in the dream time. Over the next 4 weeks, I invite you to join me around the cauldron of inspirational renewal. Let's stir up the elderberry brew to feed the seeds of a brighter, better world. And here's the astrology for this lunar month. The new moon in the earthy, structure-loving sign of Capricorn is blessed by a trine to Uranus in Taurus, which bodes well for positive moves towards a more healthy relationship to the land, fertility, and money. Inspirations and ideas supporting a new world vision will do well. Pluto, hovering between Capricorn and Aquarius, further insists on development for the future, understanding clearly the limitations of the past. It will be almost impossible to hold on to traditional structures and methods of the past now, as the necessity of the completely different becomes more and more obvious. It always amazes me how I can do an intuitive reading, and then when I look at the astrology where the planets are positioned in the sky, the two are saying exactly the same thing. So there you have it. That's my guidance for the new lunar month. I hope you enjoyed that and that it helps you to navigate your way through what is, I agree, a challenging time to live on this planet. So I leave you for now with my love and blessings, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Goodbye for now.